Hi. Today I will try to do something not easy for me, but I think that could be very useful for me and for you. When I teach, I learn a lot. I will try to make a lesson about the interpretation of Franz Bruggen of the Folia from Corelli. Bruggen recorded Folia, I think remember 2 times, and this is, I guess, the first recording, 1967. So one of the oldest recording, accompanied by this wonderful musician Anne Pilsma on cello, baroque cello, and Gustav Leonard on cembalo. It is, of course, a wonderful interpretation, full of ideas and also things very, very raffinated that I think that could be interesting for us to recognize. It's not easy to recognize all that. I'm sure that I'm losing something, but I will try to put my experience and my taste in helping you. We will listen. Oh, I'm sorry. It was the headphone. Come back. And the first things that I recognize only now, but it's incredibly interesting. Franz Bruggen had a wonderful vibrato. Really, never listened a vibrato so good, so wonderful. But in the 18th century, vibrato is an ornament, it's not a way of playing. And in effect, if you pay attention, Bruggen did vibrato only in the long notes, in the white note or the dotted. So not in the first, but in the second. And in the second bar, not in the second, but just in the first. This is very important. If you arrive at recorder from the modern music, modern way of playing, in this modern way, the vibrato is all over. This is a bad vibrato, not a problem, but it's just a sample. And Bruggen did ta 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 again. I'm sorry. Good. And now, what can we listen? This is the first thing. The second, wonderful sound, of course. This is one of the best quality. Tuning, perfect tuning and wonderful sound. We can observe that there is not separation. It's not... My flute is a little cold. So the tune is lower. But okay, and then the trill. The sound is like a singer, like a singer that's telling lascia che io pianga. If you sing lascia che io pianga la sorte mia, you will never see lascia che io pianga, but lascia che io pianga. But this is la follia, but the structure is the same. The trill is without cutting, is not rhythmical cutting. The note B, it's continuing, it's not easy to do it. We listen again. And the breath is not each 2 bars, but each 4. Did you listen? The breath is each 4. We listen. This is interesting. The last trill is not with a long appoggiatura, but it's very short. The first note is very short. Is an interpretation, a choice. Interesting, of course. That could be other solution, but you have to notice it. An important thing, telling you what Bruggen is doing, I'm not telling you what you have to do. Woo! No, when we listen a good musician making something, it's not because we'll try to make exactly the same, but it's because we can learn something that we can use in this piece, but we can use in another piece after 2 years. So not immediately. It's not to make the goal is not to make a photocopy, but it's important that you recognize the different elements. There are a lot. Second part. Oh. I'm sorry. Technology. Good. This ornament is wonderful. Between the first and the second note, Bruggen makes something lower and something related with the harmony. So it could be G, but the same note is more interesting in B flat. But you can make more than one note, so the note of the chord G minor, G, B flat, D. It's not sure really what he's doing. I think that he's doing B because it's very fast. B flat, D. We will listen again. I'm sorry that I fall. This is the first part again. I think it is B, D, and then a mordente, G, F sharp, G. We listen again. This is interesting. This is an idea really very, very elegant. An A before the trill upon F. The chord is D, F sharp, A, and you can make an D or more lower, an A, or an F sharp, but I think it's playing a recorder without the double hole, an ancient one. But the octave of the F sharp is not a good idea, because they make, in the harmony, they make parallel octave. We will listen. It's make a D. Now I listen better. So A, D and trill upon F sharp. Probably it's doing G, B, D, G, A. We will listen again. The only solution is a G. G, B, D, G. This we have a B, the chord is B, D, F. You can make B, D, F, B, B, D, B, B, F, D. What is the difference? B, F, D is an empty fifth, is a little modern. B, D, B is a little more related from the rule of the epoch, in which they told that you can't make chord without the third, just one note and the fifth. So you can make B, D, B or B, D, F, B. I did B, F, D. I like this fifth empty, but it's just my taste. This is interesting. C, D, C, A, B. It's very affirmative, this A. It's underlining, because here start an emiola. Pam, 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 pam. So it's not the same ta, 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 like a green sleeve. Dotted quarter, eighths and quarter in the English music from the 17th century, it's very sweet, it's three notes together, but here it's completely different. It's not no, it's pa, ta, 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 because it's going to the emiola. The changing, instead of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and now the cello makes something important, and the flute is like accompanying the cello. There is this couple of notes, rest a couple of quarter. We will see what it's doing Bruggen. What we can listen is that it's giving some importance at the second note. It's not, but the second note, that is the last of the bar, has a certain melodical importance. We will listen again. And then we listen that there is a short separation between the note. And not the first doesn't touch the second. After it's happened something at the end, we will listen. This is interesting. Then is the bar 24, B, D, G, and then is written A, F sharp. First trill upon F sharp, and when there is written A, is doing A, B. This is very interesting because B flat and F sharp is a very unusual distance, diminished fourth, and this makes something that makes sense. That's very good. In effect, there is not B flat F sharp because there is a trill, but it was the same without trill. Okay. Now we will listen what we will do in the second part. Normally the second part in this variation upon la follia has the same text for about half of the second part, and then a different conclusion, a different cadenza, but the performer normally it's free to make something more with more fantasy, with more freedom, because the text has been performed, and then you can, in the repetition of the text, to do something. We will listen. This is very interesting. We are to do D, G, and of course we can make D, E natural, F sharp, G. But there is three ways for making it. To make the note immediately, or to making the note trying to do it at the end. And Bruggen decided to do it in a very simple, in a very singing way. We will listen again. In the second, it's not a fourth, it's a third. So there is just one note. Because if you do da ra da, you have to repeat the do. It's possible, but it's not so elegant, a repetition of notes, if there is not a musical reason. For making the same group of notes, tam 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 tam, it is making, I think, remember. Yes. It's making more. A, B, A, B, C. It could be A, B, A, C. A, B, A, B, C. No, we have to start A, B, C. Or this is like a mordente between A and B. And after we have G, B, we will listen. Nothing. Pom, pom. This is sometimes a good idea. Ornamented, nothing. Simple ornament, complicated ornament, nothing. We will listen again. This is very, very interesting. C, F. C, F, of course you can make, but it's not so clear if we need a natural F or a natural E or E flat. I'm sorry, it's cold in this room. My flutes make noise. And but it's technically and musically is not wonderful. C, D, E flat, F. So it consider the relationship between C. It was considering the relationship between C and F like relationship between dominant and tonica. Pom 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 in F major. C, F, and insist in the movement FC, CF, I'm sorry, so it's doing C, D, C, F. And in effect, for musical reason is better, and also for technical reason, for legatura that make not noise. Okay, we will listen again. It starts from here. Another thing, the ornaments in this case is not ta 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 ta, but ta 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 ta, ta di di di. Then G, D, G without nothing. And then something simple. With regular sixteens and not double sixteens, when we are used to do in the Baroque music. But this is interesting, it's a choice, probably for making more calm the performance. It's possible that is finish the piece with a different position upon the G. Instead, with the hole number 2, you can make the hole, close the hole number 3. The note is too high, but that you can blow sweeter, lighter, and so you will have a note piano. Okay, we can continue, and now there is this interesting allegro with 6/8. We will listen what it's doing. It was doing. What we note is normal staccato, wonderful staccato. Whoa. But with a certain importance on the higher note, on the top note. Pa-pa-pa, little. We will listen again. That is interesting. This is an idea a little modern, but of course done with elegance. This fourth decrease, this staccato, there are a little less staccato. Going until da like a melodical end. So the mass staccato is the beginning, and after, in the second part, there is less staccato. We will listen to the second part, in which probably they will, if I could remember, they will do some ornaments. Okay. There is some third, and ever you can, when you have a third, you can put the note inside. So you can put a note between G and B flat, between B flat and D, between D and B flat, etc. They make it in each two bars, and they make it in a simple way in the first bar, and the double B D B C D C B in the third bar. We will listen again. Bam, pa ta ta ka ta ton ta 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 tam ta tam ta 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 ta. And then mordente bar 45 upon the D. We will listen again. And then the same idea of making less staccato and of this is implied that in bar 45 for the 6 there is a mordente, but not a mordente upon a short note, but good. I will not make one video with all the pieces, too long, but we will see what happened after. This is very interesting. This part is very difficult for technical reason, both for the flute play, not very difficult, you have to study a lot, for the recorder player and for the cellist, of course. We will listen what it will do. What is this choice? This choice has to do nothing, a staccato, so not, but it's more difficult because the technique has to be perfect. there is not something that the finger has to move in a very synchronic way with the tongue. It's more difficult with this staccato instead of legature or other thing. Is an interpretation that we can consider a little modern, probably in the second performance. I don't remember, but I guess that Bruggen and Bilsma did something else. But it's very interesting, when you make this staccato, the music seems, the piece seems more faster and more difficult, and more is, the idea is, I'm doing something very, like, very difficult and very fast. Making staccato, it seems more difficult and more fast. If you do, the speed is the same, but the piece seems more slow. So it's dry, this performance. Of course, with the double tonguing, because it's not easy to do with single. Okay, and now arrive at the third, the triole. I think that it's not in doing legature, probably it's a pronunciation, but not. I don't think that it's making legature. We'll listen again. Really, it seems that he's doing a staccato like the first part, but with an accent each three note. And note that, as before, in the first allegro, the end is less staccato, is becoming sweet, more sweeter, if you can see this. I have to listen again for understanding what's doing at the end. But it's not doing a trill upon A, it's doing a trill upon F sharp. Going B, C, and then B, A, G, probably F sharp, G. B, C, B, A, G, and trill upon F sharp. We will listen again, it's not so clear. Yes. B, C, B, A, G, F, G, F. Why, if there is two possibilities. This is a transcription done in 18th century from the original piece from Corelli for violin. So it could be that the original piece from violin, it's in D minor. In this piece doesn't has an E but a C sharp. That could be. Or it's just a question of taste. When you make cadence, normally you play upon the fifth of one chord or upon the third. It's better upon the third major in this case, in all the case, but also here that is G minor. It's better to make a trill upon F sharp than upon A. I don't know, but surely he's not doing a trill upon E, as is written in our text. Okay, I think that I will continue. It is just 2 minutes of this recording, long 10 minutes, so I don't know if I will do 5 lessons. Bye bye.